Hi, I'm Becky, and I work for Northern Human Services in Berlin as a community integrator for the past 11 years, and I love what I do.
My name's Linda. I'm a 30-year employee here at Northern. I've had a few different roles over the years, but my favorite has always been service coordination, which I've done for about 25 of the 30 years I've worked here. It's a great job and I really enjoy it.
So my job as a mobile crisis clinician is pretty different, I think, than a lot of the other jobs. Here we tend to work 12-hour shifts and we're really on call a lot of the time. So I do evaluations for hospitals in the area as well as community-based evaluation. So if somebody calls into Access Point needing a crisis evaluation, they'll reach out to me as well as a peer support team who either deploy to that client's house for the evaluation or I assess them over Zoom. We determined if they're able to safety plan and remain in the community or if they need the higher level of care and usually head to an ER to start additional options for treatment.
I think the whole purpose of my job, which is to help parents become their child's first teacher and create that healthy attachment and bond.
Prior to working here, I was always searching for a purpose that I really lacked in my life. When I first responded to the ad, I had no idea what I was getting into. But just throughout the interview process, I felt such a strong sense of work culture and a greater purpose. After my first day, I instantly was hooked. I loved what our mission was and what we were working to accomplish. And over the years, I've met a lot of really great individuals and families that have taught me so much more than what I've contributed to them. And that's my reason for why I've continued to work and do this work.
My experience with Northern started well before I began working here as an employee. I was introduced very young to individuals with disabilities due to the fact that my grandmother actually worked for Northern Human Services. Believe it or not, she actually worked for the same part of the agency that I do now, the Berkshire Center here in Colbrook, New Hampshire. Being introduced at a young age, I didn't see these individuals as different or out of the ordinary. I saw them as extraordinary individuals that needed just a little extra help and maybe a little bit of support. I feel each individual, whether they do or they do not have disabilities, should be given the same opportunities in life. And if I can help and support in any way to help these individuals succeed, that fills my heart with such gratitude.
One of my favorite parts about being an intern here with Northern Human Services is that my days are not typical. Some mornings I'm at the local hospital dealing with crises and learning how to help people with really acute symptoms of their mental illnesses. And then that afternoon I might be doing play therapy with a kid. The next day I might be running and co-facilitating a group or working with individuals in individual therapy. There are so many different aspects to my learning and growth here, and that has been an incredible aspect of my internship.
I really love doing this type of work. I always wanted to help people. I like to make a difference, and I feel I do make the difference here, as I've seen it on different faces of different individuals, and sometimes it's been the staff. But it's a great feeling to be able to help a team and know that you have a team with you and you're making such a difference in everyone's lives.
What makes me the happiest to work at Northern Human Services is working with the people that we serve and giving them the opportunity and the experiences that they deserve. To just do what they want, giving them their power back, helping them find their purpose, find where they belong. It's very fulfilling. It's very rewarding work, and it helps you find your purpose and your belonging as well.
I have loved working at Northern Human Services in each of the roles that I have had through the last 10 years. The biggest reason that I love it is that I'm so invested in the community that I'm raising my children in, and Northern Human Services gives me a amazing opportunity to help that community be better for children, for families, and for all those involved.
Being a native to the area that Northern serves has given me numerous occasions to help people in our community that I may have known my entire life. So being a behind-the-scenes warrior makes me feel like I am supporting those people.
Hi, I'm Michelle, and I have worked here at Northern Human Services for almost 20 years. 17 of those I was a community integrator, and almost 3 I've been a team leader. I really enjoyed being a community integrator, but when the chance arose to apply for a team leader position, I thought it was time to move up, and I'm very happy I did.
Hi, my name is Bree. I'm a kids care coordinator at Northern Human Services, and I've been with the agency since December of 2018. My why is when kids get like those little wins. Like I had a kid who we were at the library and he had his Pokemon cards and he was telling another kid that they were not allowed to touch them. And through our time of our session together, he went from you can't touch them to you can look at them to you can touch the ones that I tell you you can touch to you can have this one because I have an extra one. And it was amazing and it was great. And there's so many times like that where something just clicks or something happens and kids are so proud of themselves, or they make a friend when they're with you and they feel so proud of themselves. And that's why I do what I do.
What makes me happiest about working for Northern Human Services is working with the dedicated team that I have here in finance. I believe that we are all truly passionate and focused about the mission that we have here at Northern Human Services, and working with these folks on a day-to-day basis really makes me happy. I think the work that we do is challenging at times, but when you have a truly cohesive team that you're working with on a day-to-day basis, you can pretty much accomplish anything. So coming in every day to my office and seeing the faces and working with the people that have the dedication I have to our mission really does make me happy.
There's lots of places I could work, but I've chosen to stay at Northern as a job with purpose and meaning is so important to me. I've been lucky to work with many folks that I've been able to assist as they walk along the path of determining what they want out of life and then work towards those goals. It's their successes, both big and small, that make me proud of the work I do.
I asked myself, what is my why? This is my why, because together we all change the lives of the people that we serve, because it takes a team.